Ringside with Tracy and Kurt once again. You know what, this rivalry between Patrick Chan and Brian Joubert of France is really developing. You throw in Evan Lysacek of the United States and some matters of opinion, i.e. the judging, and you get interesting times, don't you?
Oh yes, and it just, the plot thickens as, you know, the artistry versus athleticism bait continues on. You had Lysacek go and lay it down, clean skate. Chan does a clean skate. Joubert goes out with the quad, makes a mistake on the quad, so the points he gains for the degree of difficulty, he loses because of the quality. Where Joubert won it was on the artistic mark, the second mark, and that's what's got people talking right now because of the qualities of a Lysacek and a Chan, the intricacy of their choreography. They were outpointed by Joubert.
But he shone, he really did, but it's not really the artistic as much as the skating skills. I just found that his program was simpler to perform, but what he did is that he went out there and he kind of caught a little bit of lightning in a bottle, as you would say, and I think that he maybe smoke and mirrored his way over the judges. I sat there confused afterwards and I didn't quite agree, and I think that the judges maybe didn't do it right and the audience agreed with me.
And I think it's an interesting point to note on this panel, none of the skating nations, the big skating nations had a judge on the
States
panel.
And
France and Russia, Canada, Japan, none of those judges got the draw. So it is a very inexperienced panel.
It's a really good point.
They bought Joubert's charismatic approach.
Intrigue. It never hurts the figure
and
skating
it's close.
And it sets up a great final because all three of them are so close. Let's turn our attention to the pairs and the first medals which will be awarded. And let's take a look at the Germans who lead, the world champions, Aliona Savchenko and Robin Szolkowy, who are making their season peak at the right time.
Perfect time. These two are great, and earlier in the season, I've said it before, early in the season, I just didn't buy into this program. But what a draw. They drew the last to skate in what was a good pairs event, and then outskated everybody. Skating last sets you up for that perfect mark. In the old system, it would have been a 6.
And this is such a difficult program to execute. It's not easy lyrical balletic music that just kind of carries you across the ice. This is a piece of music and a program that your skating has to carry, and that's what they did with it.
This is a sink or swim program for sure.
Meantime, speaking of sink or swim, Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison of Canada, who won a bronze medal at the last World Championships, are way down in 7th. What are their prospects?
Well, not good at this point. They're at least 4 points off the podium. But remember, with the pairs long, we've been watching them this year, they can gain a ton of points and they can lose a ton of points. So Jessica and Bryce can definitely make up some ground, but they have to skate with a lot more emotion and excitement, Kurt, than they did in the short program.
Oh, it's always sad when you give the reins to somebody else in the competition. They're waiting for mistakes now instead of creating their own opportunity, and that's too bad.
And Canada has a reputation to protect in pairs skating. It's a historical strength for this country. And with another side to the Canadian pairs story, here's Brenda.
Well, Scott, there are 2 other Canadian teams here in Los Angeles. One of them, Megan Duhamel and Craig Buntin. They currently sit in 8th place after the short program. Now, Megan and Craig got together about 2 years ago. That's after his former partner, Valerie Marcoux, decided to retire. And at that time, Craig himself he really contemplated considering quitting skating, but that was until he found what he describes as the perfect fit.
When Val retired, I really realized, it sort of put skating in perspective in my life. And it wasn't that, winning a gold medal was going to define me as a person, I really was able to say, okay, find my love for the sport again and say, why am I doing this? And at the end of the day, what am I getting from this aside from just a medal? It's the pursuit of the goal and that daily grind that I love. And I really got that back last year.
Honestly, I was going to quit skating a few years ago not because I didn't enjoy skating, but I think I reached as good as I was going to get in singles. Then I got a phone call from Craig and everything changed.
She had this fire in her eyes. She was the first person that I tried out with that I knew, this girl would do whatever it took. If she had to fall 100 times and spend 12 hours on the ice to get to where she wanted to go, she would. And that's something that I knew within the first hour.
I put pressure on myself that I had to do my job because I didn't want anybody to be saying, oh, Craig shouldn't have chosen to skate with Megan. I had a lot of work to do to catch up with Craig, but I made sure that every time I came out, I was solid and I got my job done. so that people could see that, you know, there was potential to be as good as Val and Craig.
Looking back on where Val and I were, it feels like a different career. You know, like I think I'm really fortunate to have been given a chance to have a second career, you know, a second shot to reflect on where I was with Val and to say, you know, what did I do right in that partnership? What mistakes did I make? You know, what did I learn? How did I grow? And then to be able to take all that into a brand new career.
You get here on time, but she's not. She's got to be here when she goes.
One of the things that I find makes us both great together is we're just so passionate about skating. And it's easy to have a relationship with somebody when you share such a strong passion.
Remember at Condens when you said, I pulled this up? It actually did help.
I find we've taken a 10-year career and condensed it into 2 years, into 2 seasons really. And that is what we needed to do. You know, like cutting the hand in Paris and you know, the shoulder surgery, you know, Megan's foot last summer. All these little things have literally been water under the bridge, and that's to have all of that behind us. Or I mean, even like Canadians this past year, winning the short and coming out after a standing ovation, after all those huge marks that the other team got. You know, that is what tests a team, and to have that under our belt now is huge heading into next year's Olympic season.
And they are a partnership with a tremendous upside.
We really have all the qualities to be one of the top 3 teams in the world. And I mean, for Megan and I, where we're at right now, if it's even a remote possibility, I mean, even the people who don't particularly see us as the best team in the world can look at us and say, well, maybe there's a slight possibility. Then for us, we're going in there going, we want a medal. We have a shot, you know, which is crazy to say, but we do.
And joining Megan and Craig here in Los Angeles, their training partners from St. Leonard, Quebec, Mylène Brodeur and John Matadol. They sat in 11th place after the short program. In their free skate tonight, well, they created an instant audience connection with their Gone with the Wind theme. They had a few technical problems, but recorded a new season best score of 98.38, so they can now finish no worse, Scott, than in 10th position.
All right, Brenda, there is the order of go in the free skate, the pairs competition. Jessica Dube, Bryce Davison, Pang and Tong, Megan Duhamel and Craig Buntin of Canada. Well, the final say belongs to Kawaguchi Smirnoff of Russia, but the leaders are Savchenko and Szolkowy, the reigning world champions from Germany. They'll skate next to last.
Competing on behalf of Canada, a warm welcome, please, for Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison.
Now out to center stage for Canadians Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison. Last year at the World Championships in Sweden, they were the bronze medalists, and they find themselves in the unfamiliar position of 7th place after the short program, with a long way to go to get into contention.
Skating to Carmen, and this program choreographed by David Wilson and Marie-France Dubray and Patrice Lauzon. Opening with their triple twist. Now a sequence of double axels. In the pair competition, if one skater singles a jump while the other does a triple or a double, they only get credit for a single. start, she's just looked like she's doubted herself and her jumping ability in this competition. It looked to me as though she had that triple Salchow and she played it safe, put the hand down, and didn't step forward correctly, making a bigger error of what shouldn't have been one.
That mistake off the top, very unexpected. We expect certain mistakes within competition, but when an unexpected one happens, it can throw you off even more. Mistakes aside, I love watching this team perform. I think that they and their choreographers have come up with a way of utilizing their skills. They're a great looking team together. And without the mistakes, the magic starts to happen. But today, magic's not there.
After their World Championship bronze last year, they missed the Grand Prix final and haven't seemed to be able to find their groove all season long.
Well, as disappointing as the mistakes are when you make them, you have to put those problems out of your mind. You have to get in the moment and deliver the performance. Otherwise, the little mistakes build up. They did not make the most of every point of every step and really did this program a disservice by losing their focus and their energy in this program.
Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison of Canada trying desperately to move up and protect spots at the Olympics in pairs.
You talked about the unexpected mistakes, Kurt, and when you are perfectionists, as these two are, you make one mistake and you go, darn it, I've lost it. But we often see in the pairs competition, other teams do come undone, and you can't give any points away. You have to continue to sell the program and make the most out of everything.
But you know what, when one person maybe react to a mistake one way, the other person will react by pulling back, and the other guy gets more aggressive. It seemed like Bryce wanted to, you know, eat that program, and maybe Jessica was thinking about how to get the left foot in front of the right foot and wasn't able to get herself into the program as much, and then the chemistry was off. And you're used to seeing the chemistry being on, but this season, it was a tough season, but a building season, I hope, for these guys, and come back strong next year. They're a great, great team.
Currently, Dube and Davison of Canada rank second.
They are here competing on behalf of China. Welcome now, Chen Peng and Jian Tong.
Now on the ice, Qing Pang and Jian Tong of China, the 2006 world champions in the pairs competition. And both of them have been battling injury and illness.
They are immensely capable, particularly in the free program. This is their strength. They won the Grand Prix final by winning this portion of the competition.
We talked about unexpected things happening, and occasionally this does happen, a mistake in the music. And you have to find a way to, if this was at home, it wouldn't matter, but
Right.
it's not at home, this is Worlds.
And that heart's a-going right now as you're waiting for the beginning strains of the music. This, a tango,
Take two.
choreographed by Sarah Kawahara.
You'd have told me 3 or 4 years ago that this couple would be able to handle Sarah Kawahara footwork and choreography, I would have laughed at you, but they can. They've improved so much. They've got lots of technical prowess with the double axel sequences. Unfortunately, she singled hers.
Side-by-side triple toes planned here.
Tracy, you're used to seeing a pair team zipping around the rink with amazing speed, lifts, and throws like these two can do, and then you see them let go of each other, and you can really start to analyze the skating skills of the individual. And that's sometimes very telling, as I think it was in that last piece of footwork. They slowed down, didn't finish the thought, didn't carry it through.
Competition, as in the singles competition in the free skate, any of the risk moves, the jumps, the throws, and the triple twists gain an extra 10% if they're done after the two-way mark. Watch this. That's how you rack up the points. Beautifully timed to the music. Throw triple southpaw. And coming back here with another throw, this time the throw triple loop.
From the northern Chinese city of Harbin, they've done a lot of winning this year. You mentioned the Grand Prix final. They also won at NHK in Tokyo, and of course, 4 continents, a major championship in Vancouver.
Difficult entry to the second last lift. really saved these two difficult lifts to the very end of the program. That was not with the speed at the end of the program. I mean, sorry, the speed at the end of the lift that they would have liked. Not today.
Xingkang and Tong of China, one-time world champions who seem to struggle a bit in the free skate here in Los Angeles.
From China,
Megan Duhamel
the free skating scores, please.
scores in for Peng and Tong of China.
The free skating scores.
Well, their score at Four Continents was 129, so a dramatic difference here. They're sitting 7 points out of first and a couple points off the podium, so we'll have to watch to see how these marks will stack up.
Chinese stand first for now.
Representing Canada, here are Megan Duhamel and Buntin.
The optimistic Canadians, Megan Duhamel and Craig Buntin, who were 6th at their last World Championships, their first together. And Craig talked about the fact that at the last Worlds, they were just hoping to survive the competition because of his shoulder problems. Now they're primed and ready to go.
And in a virtual tie coming into the long with Dube and Davison, the Canadian champions. Skating to Tosca, choreographed by Judy Marcotte. Opening with a series of triple toes. The first. And the second, just hanging on. Side triple sow cows. Triple loop, but you can see they're really having to fight for everything. And with this team, when things go wrong, she tends to pick up her timing and he tends to slow down. Very important that they remain in sync.
was leaning. She had to put down the other foot to hold on to it, but it's like you said, Tracy, they need extra long toe picks just to hold into the ice and struggle and fight for everything tonight.
Like they've come together here in this footwork sequence. Soft, lyrical, and both very expressive as they push it through to the end of their program. Out of a difficult spread eagle.
She's from Lively, Ontario. He's from Kelowna, BC, and they might have hoped for a lot more at these World Championships. The evolving partnership of Megan Duhamel and Craig Buntin for Canada. Will return to the Staples and struggling mightily to hide their disappointment. Craig Buntin, Megan Duhamel of Canada, not what they wanted in the free skate.
And it's interesting the vibe that a rink takes on, and right now this arena is filled with lethargy, and we're waiting for somebody to come through and break it. The performance a little bit heavy. I felt that these two, Kurt, really tried to push through the program though and deliver, even though they were struggling.
That's their personalities, and we love them for it, but you know, pairs is dangerous. It really is dangerous, and everyone can feel the tension and the potential danger of the situation. Heavy sigh of relief when it's over.
Olympic silver medalists in 2006, Zhang of China. Not related, but both from Harbin in the north. And they train with Bin Yao. Who will ever forget her crash into the boards after the fall on the throw in Torino, and they collected themselves and continued to compete.
Skating to the Zhang Zhang River, choreographed by Marina Zueva. Sitting in third place, going into the free skate. Opening here with side-by-side double axels. Right into triple toes. Credit for rotation, but not for the quality. Huge throw triple sow cow. excellent speed and unison. Little glitch there. Much improved element. Side-by-side spins for this team. Watch this throw triple loop.
So important that she lands that throw triple loop with speed, because they have a planned triple Szolkowy beside each other. They chose what looked like on purpose to do only doubles. We're getting to that point in the competition where those decisions become critical. We're that close to the podium. This competition is close.
Yes, they won a Cup of China, Cup of Russia, but they are only slightly ahead of Muhortva and Trankov, the Russians, and it's been a while since China has not been on the podium in the pairs at World Championships.
Well, these two were silver medalists at the Worlds last year, but lost to their teammates Pang and Tong at the Grand Prix final and at Four Continents. You're sensing now, Kurt, that they're starting to get a little bit tired. Not a lot of expression, but you can see the concentration on their face trying to push through, and she's gasping. They're right in front of us here. Very end of their program. Legs, lungs burning.
Zhang and Zhang of China, third after the short program, but they may have opened the door for the Russians. We'll return to the Staples Center in Los Angeles in just a moment.
The scores, please, for Zhang and Zhang. The free skating.
Here are the scores for Zhang and Zhang of China, desperately trying to hold on to third spot here at the World Figure Skating Championships. Free skate 119.10. And combine that with their short program score, puts them into first place. So mission accomplished for now. Up next, however, their closest competitors, Maria Muhortva and Maxim Trankov, coached by Oleg Vasilyev, representing Russia. And the Russians hungry for a world championship in the pairs competition. It's been a while. The Germans won last year, Shen and Zhao, the Chinese. And then in 2006, Pang and Tong, the Chinese.
And they will skate to Lady and the Hooligan. We talked to their coach Oleg about the teams that he's training. He says, oh no, I have just one team, it's this team, and they are enough. His biggest problem is getting them to relate together and communicate on the ice. He says they're a little like oil and water. If I don't keep mixing with them, they separate.
Good analogy. Like that theme has been carried right into the choreography as well.
Well, this is a team that every time out this year in competition, they've skated better in the short program and dropped in the long. Hoping to change that here. Opening with their triple twist. Planned triple jumps coming up here. These could tell the tale.
Side-by-side jumps giving everybody trouble tonight. Triple Szolkowy, and the trend continues.
Most likely that will be downgraded. Maria not completing the rotation, turning a triple, most likely to a double. Nice throw triple loop. After the halfway mark, so this gets an extra 10%. Throw triple Szolkowy. Way forward on the landing, both hands down.
I just realized that I found myself waiting for the next element. I wasn't watching the program, I was watching a series of elements back to back to back, and that's not always a good sign.
It's often a sign to me that they're not really using the music. And there's a lot of fun and rhythm in this piece of music, and they're very, very serious, and even when they're facing each other, they're not making eye contact.
Oil and water.
Better be careful. And good for their coach, Oleg, a little stumble there, but the way he's choreographed some humorous moments into the footwork, trying to bring out their personalities. And winding down on this program, and I have to say this is one of their strongest free skates, the strongest free skate they've had this year in competition.
A focused effort, to be sure.
Maria Muhortva and Max Trankov of Russia, the 2007 national champions, still waiting for someone, some duo, to seize the moment here in Los Angeles. Evan Lysichek, Bold, and CBCSports.ca.
The free skating scores for
Marks for Maria Muhortva and Max Trankov of Russia. 111.01 in the free skate.
0.01. Their total competition score.
And the lack of expression, connection, the few little mistakes once again drops them in the free skate, not able to match what they put out in the short program in competition. And boy, when you don't feel in sync with your partner and you don't have that energy between one another, it really shows.
In sync, they couldn't even bow in sync. They were just chasing her around the rink, trying to get her attention, going, do you want to bow with me?
Here are the world champions from Germany. Had a tough go at the Grand Prix final in South Korea. They wound up third there, had expected to win handily, but have been building their season back into form. And they were great in the short program.
Skating to Schindler's List, and this is choreographed by their coach, Ingo Stoyer.
To carry on with the theme, this team can pick up on a vibe and build on it. Leona has a lot of intensity in her skating, and they're both very technically strong. Starting out with triple toe, in sequence with another triple toe. Very clean, very strong. Outside death spiral, carrying more speed than any of the other teams. That fall coming within an element during the footwork.
Captivating performance. And a high-risk move at the very end. Throw triple Szolkowy. That was a world-class performance. We have been waiting the night to see something like this, and boy, they did not disappoint. Ingu Steuer.
Won a world championship with Mandy Wurzel for Germany. And it was a captivating performance. They were 3.5 points ahead of their closest rivals, Kawaguchi Smirnoff of Russia, coming in. There was a fall by Robin Szolkowy, but other than that, spot on. The Germans, Savchenko, Szolkowy, the world champions. Back with the marks for Savchenko, Szolkowy, the world champions from Germany.
And that program went by so quickly with the rest of the pairs. We struggled along with them. With this program, it flew by. Incredible skating.
Tracy, you talked about the teams not being able to recover from any mistakes. This team took a bad fall on an element, and it didn't even mar the choreography. They picked it back up, and I think that's what makes world champions, like Mao Asada did last year when she fell at the beginning of her program and came back to win.
131.18 in the free skate. Overall, 2:03.48 puts Savchenko and Szolkowy in the driver's seat in first place with one pair to go. And here is that pair. Yuko Kawaguchi and Alexander Smirnoff of Russia, coached by the legendary Tamara Moskvina.
As a single skater, I watched that. Maxim. Alexander, sorry, would have been doing a double instead of a triple there.
Little mistake there on that triple twist. He caught her on his shoulder instead of in the air. But watch this next move coming up. They've a planned throw quad Szolkowy. Here it comes. Oh!
So much speed, so much momentum and torque on the 4 revolution throw that when her toe picks let go of the ice, the body just slammed down.
Japanese-born Yuko Kawaguchi, a hard fall, but back into action.
Well, that's not hurting now, but ask her the same question tomorrow morning.
She is a fighter. You can see it in her face right now. She is not going to let down for a second.
Very creative lift.
Side-by-side double axles, not a lot of speed, and he hangs on. Trying to hold 2 Chinese teams off the podium and get onto the podium for the first time. certainly struggling at moments in this performance, but nonetheless, you really have the feeling that she wants to be out there, that they're enjoying the music, continuing to deliver this performance right to the end.
Total commitment to the choreography.
Well, they took the risk with the big throw. They were forced to recover after the hard fall, and they hope they'll be rewarded for that. Yuko Kawaguchi and Alexander Smirnoff, the Russian national champions, who were second after the short program.
I believe that they'll get quality. I mean, they'll get credit for the 4 revolutions on the throw. I really do, and I think that that will be a bit of a savior. Everything is going to count right now. The triple toe at the beginning that turned into a double.
The twist, the small mistake on the twist, it becomes a little bit of a numbers game. And of course, the 2 Chinese teams, they too had some mistakes, not as major as what these 2 made, but the commitment to the choreography, Kurt,
I think should be rewarded. I really do.
Is so important.
And all through the short programs and the long programs, the top teams, everybody having a bit of a struggle, and the German team shining as clean clean except for the 1 fall in both aspects of this competition, really pushing through.
Here's a look at the opening series of triple jumps. There's the first triple toe, and that was well done. Now, let's watch to see if they both had the full revolutions here. No, his toe pick slipped on the takeoff, leaning forward, so they'll only get credit for a double there. Here comes the throw curve.
Count 'em quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, and she had it, and just
that's a hard
way
fall.
too much, and it did look like her head may have made contact with the ice.
And absolutely incredible to have a fall like that and then to go on and perform as she did throughout the rest of the program.
And who says figure skating is for sissies? Not me. This was a beautiful moment. He's like the ship and she's like the sail. It was so clean and simple. And from the far end of the ice where we had our view, it was even better.
Well, diminutive in stature, but Kurt, you know her, and she has quite a fierce personality.
Yeah, she may be more than half her size, but I think she's the captain of that ship I was talking about for sure.
Fierce personality, so does their coach, Tamara Moskvina. Fiercely proud of the Russian tradition in pairs figure skating, and has to be proud of the performance of Yuko Kawaguchi. Pick herself up and soldier on.
Big moment for them right here.
Trying to hold off the 2 Chinese pairs, Zhang and Zhang, Tong and Tong.
The free skating scores for
1:17.45. New season's best in free skating for the Russians.
117.45. This is a
Combine that with their short program score.
Their total competition score.
And the Russians will hang on and make it to the podium. Overall, they will finish 3rd behind Zhang and Zhang of China and behind the world champions Aliona Savchenko and Szolkowy of Germany. And there are the champions right there. She's Ukrainian born, now skates for Germany, and they have back-to-back pairs championships at the World. Savchenko Szolkowy win, Zhang and Zhang of China the silver medal, Kawaguchi Smirnoff of Russia are 3rd, the Canadians well back, Dube and Davison and Duhamel and Buntin 7th and 8th, Brodeur Matadol are 10th.